So I said, you can carry it by yourself. Oh, he will.
He is a Superman. No, it's Batman.
Ato mga daan dong. Going down now to check on my fencing project. Today is July 31 to 2020. It should be our last day here in our barangay for MECQ. So, if you follow the news, we should be able to go around, although, of course, still having social distancing and wearing a mask, but at least we can cross borders to Mandaue City or Talisay City. So I'm going there now to check on Junel, if Junel is working or any of them is working. We are still on rainy season. As you can see, the road is still very wet and the clouds is so gray. I had to smile because I got a comment from a new subscriber that he will be soon retiring here in the Philippines, and he was saying, I love his enthusiasm. He's gonna build his house and he's not gonna hire the same workers as I have, blah blah blah, and he's gonna do his business. Oh, if it doesn't work, he's got another business plan. Well, I hope you don't lose your enthusiasm after 10 years of living here in the Philippines. And please don't be disappointed. If I were you, you should ask your Filipina of what to expect, or you use your intuition of the videos shown from Filipinos or expats that's living here of what to expect if you're living here in the Philippines. So, I like the enthusiasm. Best of luck in your retirement here in the Philippines. So I am now here on my fencing project, and I see that Janelle's in there, and so hoping that we can close down even a small panel on that side, because that's really a PIA there for all the rubbish that they're creating on the other side. So Junelle is the only one working here after what happened. If they're picking up materials, usually they just have, the Lord will just mix them up, and then before they pick up the materials, and then leave Junelle to do all the leveling and the filing of blocks. But when they finish picking up those hollow blocks, they will be only to be helping with Junelle. So here, these are the hollow blocks that they pick up yesterday. So, like I said yesterday, they only pick up 75 pieces at a time. So, you can see there on the right side, they have a file there as of yesterday. And I think they have picked up another lot and they put it here, because this got more on this side now than what it does yesterday. So, we're here. And old Willie, Farmer Willie, is continuing clearing out JT's lot. Today is Friday, so tomorrow I was hoping that he will be wheelbarrowing all this. We can see him chucking on the other side. But you can see clearly the topography of your land, JT. Because he's doing it very faster than Deloy can do. And what's making him long is cutting all the small trees, like that what he's doing. The wood that's sticking out of the ground, that from small trees. So he gotta use an axe, but he's filing it up for his firewood as well. Let it dry on the corner, and hopefully he'll be finished of this next week, even the small triangle, and then he can start going to this side here, and then going there to the turners. But we will be spraying the ground so it won't grow back with that detergent, salt, and dishwashing liquid. I think I have it on my list, the one that's a subscriber viewer has suggested. So you've noticed that they have pushed the mixie here. Mixie's on under the mango tree now to make it easier for the muck on this side when we started filing it up for next week, and hoping that he will file this side here straight to the top there, because it will make it awkward for the old man to keep on throwing his rubbish, or you know, peeing there on the corner. And yeah, he's doing a good job on it. I would rather have him. He said if you look at that angle bar, that's he got it there behind him near the little tree, that will be the height of the wall on this side, right there on the end. That will be the height. And I said that's fine, because I just want to block this off here, and then from that angle bar we will start going down. We won't follow that line. We will be going down like 2 blocks down, then 2 blocks down. So that's how Janelle planned it. So he has managed to put 2 more blocks there and doing all his lines. I'm asking Farmer Willie to clear out this rubbish here, because it's just so messy. And now that we're gonna be leaving this area, so might as well start clearing it out. When all the wall is higher, then we will see if they will still be throwing the rubbish in here despite the walls being up. Although they said that they won't, because after I talked to them, but let's wait and see. Words are not enough, action should be done. So you can see clean around here. It won't take him long to do this anyway, while he's just all this dead wood, dead bark and all that. Then it will be segregated from the other side, so the rubbish will be thrown back in there on its own. So we will see if there's any broken glass, wires like that. See, there's a barbed wire just on the land. So it's better clear so we can walk properly. Pagbantay ng barbed wire, no, you have to be careful of the barbed wire. That's what I said. So we will see the definition of the big trees that will remain and the small trees that we will still get remaining, but the rest can go, like all the rubbish on the floor, the earth, on the soil. So when I video here, you can see clearly the land. Kana sa mga gagmay nga naskilid gali sa dagkong kahoy ni Will, patyan na lang na eh. So you see here that Willie has started to clear out here. It has to be done. So I just let him stop a little bit on that JT clearing because this is so dangerous. There's some broken glass, broken dishes, and barbed wires. Like, so I just want it clean and tidy. So I think JT will understand that he's gonna be part of this community. So it won't take long for Willie to clear out all this rubbish here. Oh, may pay, ana. Ni Will. He's putting all the rubbish inside the bag. Then we can chuck it over there near the bamboo tree. Because I want it all clean and tidy as we go along. And there they are on their third lot of hollow blocks. They just put it on the side because Janelle was instructing them it would be easier to pass through here when we go here on this line next week. So I said it's so dangerous because loads of barbed wire and broken glass, so I just have it cleared by Willie instead, so that they can just cross over and carry the stuff. So I don't know what's up with the old man there in the old budget bungalow, turning on his old motorbike. So I could start putting proper tree plants that's perennials in here to make it more nicer. Going down to check again on my fencing project. They stop at lunch, so it's almost 2 o'clock now. They should be back there with a new mock mix. And I was just sorting some emails about 10 o'clock up so I could get down here again. It's now 2 o'clock. Bantay! I gotta have to drop by Mai's later because she had some help again sent to her by Mr. Albert. I could hear the mixer or something. Oh no, it's not the mixer. Oh, I think it's something in the old couple's house. What are they doing this time? Oh, someone has cut the acacia tree. So he had someone bought it from him this time then. So have you noticed the acacia tree is gone? The old man sold it for $2,000. By his relative. I'll just go and see my first. I'm back here in the fencing project. I just dropped by Mai's to give her the details of the help that coming from Mr. Albert. So I could see that the acacia is finally gone. So someone bought it from the old man. So Willie's been burning the rubbish there because I want it all clear out. So you can see how he's clearing out here. Oh, lagi, he's burning it because there's loads of ants and loads of rubbish. Di ba ka na masunog anda kung it won't burn the big trees. Now, anindot na paglakaw-lakaw nila ni Willie. Magkuan sa haloblak ba? So, he's putting it on fire because there's just so much rubbish and so much ants and other insects. That's why what you can see that he's putting on his like long sleeve shirts, because he's already anticipating it by looking at the plants from that side. So this is how far is Willie have done to the clearing on this corner here on the side of the road. So it's better because it's not dangerous anymore for us to be walking around here with all the barbed wires, the rubbish, the broken glasses, the broken dishes. And like on this side, this is where Junelle is working on. So it will be safer for him to keep on walking around as well. So he's now making sure it's straight. You know what Junelle is like. Got all his lines there. For the hollow blocks. And you can see the area here becomes wider without all the rubbish that you can see that we were throwing back on their side. And some we just bag it up and we will include it in the garbage pickup for next week, because it's already been picked up this morning, because Friday morning is the pickup of all the rubbish here. So there is what we have done so far. But next week, since there is no more mango picking, hopefully we'll have 2 or 3 panels more going down. What you're hearing is the relative of the old man who bought the acacia tree and timbering there on the side. So that's not the one that we're friendly, the timberjack. That's just their own relatives. Willie wants to cut that tree off because you know the fruit of that tree, I don't know what's the name of that one, they said is poisonous. It can burn the skin, and if it's eaten by the dogs or birds, they usually die. So I said just cut it off if it's poisonous, because we don't want any accident that we will be the one touching it when it has fruits. So better be safe. But you've seen that we have left all the big trees around here, but that one, if it's poisonous, then it can go. So what you're looking at here, that we are fencing on that side of the boundary. What I plan to do next is this side of the road will be a riprap. The riprap will be higher than me, so it will be over 5 foot, of course, because I'm just 5'1". So it will be just over 5 foot, and I will have a structural engineer who will tell me how to do that properly and have this check. And then that will be going around, sloping from here on the side of the road and to that side. So if I have, then I'll start filling it up. And that was my plan. And then my budget for that one will be like 150 to 300,000 pesos. All the riprap, the engineers, and it will be like here, right on the edge of the turners, and or might be in the side going up to the riprap. But that's my plan next. So you can see that I have really cutting all the little trees, just leave the small tree, and if anything that's they said is poisonous, I have to trust on their judgment because they know their plants, then that can go. Like that one, that's only a Madre de Cacao. That's very common. It's a shrub, so it will not be intertwining with the big trees and killing it. So this is what it's looking like here, but you will imagine it. I want a proper riprap design. I'll have a structural engineer check that with the beams. Riprap for us here, like it's stone wall, okay? Because some are laughing at me because riprap are people who are amiable people, likable people. That's what they said, the rough ones. But we call that riprap as well, the stone walls that they have here. And I want it with columns and beams. And so it will look neat and strong. Columns, beams, of course with 16 mm rebars, because that will be holding a filling from here. So it will not look like this is sloping down here, and also the drainage from the soil. And if you see there's a marker here with JT, I am tempted that beside it I will put a drainage underneath, so all the road drainage will be flowing through here over to the cliff. Not really the cliff, it's a sloping gradual slope, but over to that side. Because JT was also contemplating if he wanna build up. Now if I look inside his drop on the front property where the view is, he has a choice if he wanna build up, which or just level up this one, the slope, just level it up, and then do not incorporate the drop that's within the property. Then he don't need to build any retaining wall or stone wall. But if he want to build up, that's when we need to have a retaining wall, which is costly because you will be needing 16 mm rebars for that. So on his property, right to the end, and the riprap, the retaining wall will be designed like a cantilever, and it will be poured concrete right there. If you look at the string right there on the drop, my riprap in my castle was so long, that's why it's costing me millions. But for this length and the prices of the materials right now, I estimate this riprap will cost from that end of the triangle down here right to that pipe. That will be JT's riprap, will be around 500,000, 500,000 pesos to 600,000 pesos. I'll have a digger digging all the trench, and then there, digging all the trench, putting all the drainage ready. There's after the mango tree, you can see the pipe. That's the edge of his property, but there's a big drop on the side here. There, that you can see underneath. It's not really that deep, but you can't build on this side here if you don't do a retaining wall or a stone wall and you build up. But you also have a choice of not incorporating this, level this down, and just build on where it's viable to build. You know what I mean? Because the land will be flattened out. It's not really that high topography now that we have looked at it and level it out to where the edge of his boundary. Then he don't need to incorporate this drop, say building a retaining wall or a riprap. That's option B. But if you want to build high and want to incorporate this drop here right to the edge of the boundary, and you're gonna need a stone wall or a riprap, what we call it here, or a retaining wall of poured concrete. And that will be done by a civil engineer as well, because I always consult. I got few on my list that I usually consult when I'm building: architects, engineers, civil engineers, that they can price. And they can not really price because they don't know. They just design. They don't really know how much it costs most of the time. And they can give me a design. They can check the topography of the land and what's the proper design. And then I could give you a price. But based on experience, this kind of length, right down to the pipe there after the mango tree, that will be like 500 to 600,000. I mean, based on estimate for a retaining wall, cantilever, 16 mm rebars, poured concrete. And then we fill up after it's done, 21 days curing. Then when it's done, you can level the land right up to the high level here. To what? Because usually the higher they go, like level on the highest level, and then before you build your house. But that is the option. But if he is going for a riprap is stone wall. It might be cheaper than a poured concrete retaining wall. I estimate that will be about 300 to 400,000 pesos on this kind of length for a stone wall. I might be wrong, but I'm basing it to my experience because I also have built a riprap longer than this on my property that I built before. And it's deeper than this. So his edge of boundary is there, just past the mango tree where the pipe is, and his triangle over there on the corner. But I have just borrowed Farmer Willie, and I don't think JT will mind to clear out that garden area in there on the front, because that's a good job, because it's really dangerous. You got broken plates, barbed wires, nails, and broken metals. It's so dangerous to keep on walking around that area, but it's clearing out nicely now, taking out all the poisonous trees. And so that's why I'm talking about a riprap or a retaining wall. The retaining wall is costly. That's what I've done in my castle. So then I build up, and that's very high as well in my castle because it's so steep. It's so deep than this. This is just, I mean, for me, this is just a minor job for me because I've already done. Mine is over, I think about, I've got to be sure, but mine is a very long retaining wall. You can see it on my video, Dare to Dream video, that I've seen how I built my retaining walls. And that's why it costs so much, because you need forms. Each panel needs forms, and it's like a matting inside. Strong rebars are needed, even welded together with the columns every 3 meters panels, because I want it strong. And then you got all the drainage getting ready and the cantilever design. So like it's like an L-shaped rebar. So make it a cantilever, L-shaped rebar on one side, L on one side. So like the matting is made of 16 mm. Because I want to make sure it's also strong. I don't want to use tiny rebars on a retaining wall, because it is now the strength that's holding soil. Not like the fence I'm holding now that someone was telling me off because it's a retaining wall. It's not a retaining wall, it's a fence. It's not going to be holding anything. Both sides will be taken out. It'll be freestanding like my wall fence in my house. But this is going to be filled with soil if JT decided to build up. So his choice is a riprap or a retaining wall. But if you're looking at here, I think most of you can imagine a riprap here on the side of the road and going on the front. So I'll fill up on the top, and that's where I'm gonna put the water tower and maybe a small house or a kubo. But that will be all clean and tidy. And I want the riprap there to have columns and beams. So incorporating all that is available rocks around here. I could also buy the rocks from the quarry. So that won't be so much. Because again, since we are just I'm friendly with them and it's just local, I get it at cost as well. But whatever I built for our own project, I have like journal of what is done every day, and then accounting records of what is bought with the receipt, because I always like that. Even if it's just our own house, you still can see all the files on the daily activities and what's done for the week in summary. And you can just look back what happened on that week. And when someone's like, hey, this is what happened. Like, I do have labor problems before when I built my castle, but I managed to sort it out based on my journals. When they claim this, they claim that. So I always have journals. Everything's documented because I like documents. I like all my files that I can just see it immediately. So you can just imagine here that the riprap on the side going down higher than 5 foot, or maybe just 5, but it's going to be higher than 5 foot because we're going to be digging down there for the footings of the riprap, and then we will be filling it up when we're done. And perhaps this side, that will be straight on the fencing wall, and this will be the entrance going up to the top of the riprap over here. So I'm happy what the farmer Willie is doing there, because I start stepping on broken glass there. That's why I called him over. So the barbed wire will be the next one. I said roll it up and just throw it over. So the Loy is mixing up for the last 2 bags before they pick up the last lot of hollow blocks for the day. Then tomorrow, since Junelle is not working, they will only be picking up sand and gravel from the river. Only the Loy and Old Lito be working, and also Old Willie. So that will be the last mark for the day. This is what's done for today. I know it's quite slow, but I just want it straight, and also Junelle also wants it straight. So while the two is so busy picking up hollow blocks, then that is for me, I'm not moaning. I want the job done properly. Because what's the point in rushing like Fredo did before, and all the hollow blocks is not even. The line is so far away. But this is like a hard part anyway, because that is now going down, sloping down. And there, they got all the piles of the hollow blocks down there. And old Farmer Willie is doing a good job clearing out the danger around here with all the broken glasses, tin cans, tin metal sheets, bits of nails. So that's a good job done as well. Farmer Willie is now operating on the old stump, and you can see that how the termites has been eating on it. So he's gonna take out both stump here, the one that where Junel put his clothes in. So it's all gonna be cleared here. And he's also drying all those leaves, the green ones on the bottom, so he can burn them so the ants won't be living on it. So that's why he got his fire going on there. It's for the ants. But overall, that's a safer place for the lads to be working on than it was before, full of rubbish. So he's also piling all the old branches and stuff that they can use for firewood. Because Janelle was tormenting Willie that, where are you stopping? Continue on. So there, we thought it's gonna be such a hard stump of wood, but it's obviously eaten by termites. Then it's a good job to take it off. And also they'll use the wood on it for firewood. Firewood.
Ha? Di ba ito lagi na ibaligya? So ba ito na ibaligya? Ha?
Because they also sell firewood in here, and Janelle was tormenting Willie that they will just put it inside a sack and put some nice wood on top and put the termite ridden firewood there. That could earn them a few pesos, but the one that's gonna buy it will be in tears, said Willie. Old Willie is now on the second stump, and he was moaning that it was so hard because it's not as weak as the other one, which is eaten by termites. But he was happy because the middle of this one, it's only the side is hard, but the middle is eaten by termites. So Junelle is continuing filing, and hopefully he will be higher than it was before. But he's making sure it was it will be straight. So this is what the level are on the hollow blocks. Julito and the Lloyd just come back now for the last lot of hollow blocks. We ordered about 600, so there's one more file to be level with the one that we left behind next to the beam. So after one level, and we will be beaming, and on this side, that's the level that we are gonna left for this Friday. And so by Monday, Junelle will file one more line there and also level it here until the angle bar level that you can see there. That's where the highest part on this side, and then we will continue on 2 or 3 more panels there as we slope down. And of course he will be pouring the in-between columns, so more and more close in, and we will not be seeing those, you know what I mean. And as for Farmer Willie, he's trying to kill the old stump of Molabe, so he's taking ages to get that off. But look, nag-uyog-uyog na lagi ni Will.
Mura nagngipon uyog eh.
So it's now shaking because there's a
Wala ko no.
hollow in the middle. So there's a ant in the middle of the camera here, coming to my hands. There, he's shaking it. Then it shows that it is hollow inside. Na mauyog man ting. It will shake. No. Adi pa oh. So I said you can do that tomorrow, but at least the file is higher now. I cannot see the old man there if he's peeing on the stairs. And by Monday, then in one more pile there, and then in between columns, and then 2 or 3 more panels to go down, perhaps 4. But it's getting harder when it's when they dig, is the digging where all the stumps of wood is in the middle of the line. But hoping that we'll go through it faster than we thought, because like the stump of the coconut tree is a hard one to get because so many roots. In fact, the daloy hasn't even finished that. So look, the stump has come off. Asa to mga dunot no? They want to bring it home because that's good for firewood. Kani din uban din gagmay. Magbasa mo ugma. Sunod na sad na. So, lungag jud ay yung tunga no. So that's hollow. There's a big hollow in the middle, so that's why it's only like a trimming on the side, and it look, just push it. Aha ko na ni Will. So lagi, look, it's hollow in the middle. It's an old Molabe tree, so it's now out of the way. Both stumps. So they're gonna carry it back there toward Daloy's kitchen because they will be using it as firewood. Padayong ano eh. So I said, you can carry it by yourself. Oh, he will.
He is a Superman. No, it's Batman.
Ato mga daan dong. Kana ba? He will also bring those old ones. Kana ba?
Tarda mo ito, nagkurog-kurog yan tuhod at pindakuha.
That old eaten by termites. Kana pa. Kani dong, apil pa ni. So both stumps are out now. Oh. Lagi. So that's the where we left it. Okay na na. So tomorrow they will just be getting sand and gravel. Pala sa graba ug madong no. Okay pa to yung graba. Okay to.
Ang boss, my cast.
Oh, lagi. So we'll just concentrate on sand because our gravel stock is still enough for all this footing until where the turner's entrance will be.
Oh, buday. Yeah, couple man.